New York Jets, Pittsburgh Steelers. No shortage of headlines going into this one for Sunday Night Football. You've
Surely
got
not.
the Pittsburgh Steelers making a change at quarterback, going with Russell Wilson. You got the New York Jets now. Davante Adams is miraculously healed from his hamstring is well. What just
Incredible how
it's just
that works. My
it's a
God, he's a
Christmas.
medical marvel.
It's a Christmas miracle. Okay, so what's the matchup that matters in this one? What are we going with here?
Well, it's the unit that is going to allow Aaron Rodgers to get the ball to Davante Adams or the like, and it's the Jets offensive line versus this Pittsburgh defensive line, which is obviously the strength of its team. The Jets O line has been holding up for, the 40-year-old quarterback, 74.3 PFF grade, which ranks ninth in the league. Pass blocking grade, not as great, 16th, but they are 10th in run blocking grade. So again, I would like to see the Jets run the ball a little bit more as well. But Steelers leaders in pressures, Cam Hayward, 35-year-old Cam Hayward, 22 pressures, TJ Watt at 15. That's incredible. Getting this much production out of Cam Hayward. Again, I say it all the time because I'm at the age that these guys are at when they are considered ancient and old and, basically like just zombies on the field. And yet Cam Hayward is bucking everything that we think of when we think of a 35-year-old defensive lineman. So really excited to see what that looks like against this Jets offensive line. Weirdly enough, TJ Watt, really good against the run this year. 93.9 run defense grade, which is first among defensive players. That is so what he's kind of, I guess, lacking when you talk about him only having 15 pressures this year, only. Uh, he's making up for the fact that he is a multi-dimensional defender and
Yes.
he's being really good against the run. And I do think that the Jets, again, I want to see them run the ball more. I want to see them run Breece Hall more. And it hasn't really happened. And I don't know if that's going to happen against this Pittsburgh defensive front, especially. So we're going to see.
Yeah, I'll get a little bit more micro with that because I agree. I think the Jets' offensive line versus Pittsburgh's defensive line is a key in this one. But I'll say the run game specifically. You mentioned TJ Watt and what he has been against the run. He's been unbelievable, especially with the forced fumbles as well. When you look at the Jets last week, I know it wasn't a loss, but they ran the ball better than they have at any point in time. 125 rushing yards from Breece Hall. 66 of those yards came after contact. I think that might have been just for the team in general, but that was a season high, wasn't even close for this team. So the offensive line was blocking better, the run game was better, and I think things looked more balanced for the Jets offense there because of it. They need to continue having that script, or at least it cannot be as bad in the run game as it has been in weeks prior. Steelers run defense grade 79.1 as a team. That's third highest in the NFL. You mentioned Cam Hayward and TJ Watt as two of the big reasons why. TJ Watt gets love for defensive player of the year, which he absolutely should. I want to be very clear. Cam Hayward also, in my opinion, the Steelers have two of the top three candidates for defensive player of the year. Hutchinson, I think, was clear in a way number one, but now it opens up a lot more. And those two guys absolutely have to be at the very top of the conversation if they are able to bring the Jets run game back to what it was in weeks, 3, 4, 5, where, man, they are not running the ball at all whatsoever. Even with Davante Adams on the team, it's hard to think that the Jets could have a ton of offensive success. Now, I don't know how much offensive success they'll need with Russell Wilson in there. Maybe that'll be a little bit of a struggle as well, but I think that that's something worth noting anyways. What's your plus factor in this game?
Shocker of shockers, it's Davante Adams.
Again, somebody had to talk about it here.
We had to talk about it, and
Had
I
to
do
get it
think
in.
that, right, like you said, his hamstring is magically fine. I used the GIF this week of the women's soccer player who like scores a goal, fakes getting a hamstring injury, and then just like does her little like dance right after. And I'm like, that's Davante Adams going for his physical in New York. And we've seen how willing Aaron Rodgers is or how much he wants to throw to familiar targets. This last game against the Buffalo Bills, he did target Garrett Wilson 10 times. Garrett Wilson connected with him on 8 of those for 107 yards. And that was really great to see. But he was bested in yardage in this Buffalo game by Allen Lazard, who has been with Aaron Rodgers for a very long time. He caught the Hail Mary. He caught that impossible throw that Aaron Rodgers through, I believe it was Terrell Bernard's elbow or like the crook of his armpit. Like there's tight window throws and then there's whatever that was. And that Alan Lazard was the beneficiary of that as well. So we know that Aaron Rodgers is going to try to force the ball to familiar targets. There is no one more familiar to Aaron Rodgers right now than Davante Adams, despite not having played with him for the last couple of years. These two, they've dropped in on each other's interviews. They are clearly happy to be with each other. Davante Adams is staying with Aaron Rodgers while he gets a place in New Jersey, New York. I don't think, again, that any of Davante's stats up until this point matters. He only has one receiving touchdown on the season, but that's not going to matter now that he's back with his boy. That was his number one destination. The Jets were clearly wanting to bring him in, and that was, he's there to save the Jets season, whether or not he wants to take on that responsibility. Him and Aaron Rodgers are going to have to save the season, and it's going to have to start this week.
The trade was worth it for vibes alone. I'm going to be honest with you. Just vibes alone, I think the trade was worth it. My plus factor in this one is the Jets on third down. I've been on this show and on the review show saying that if the Jets had Davante Adams, I think they would be 2-0 over the last 2 weeks. I know fans of the teams that they didn't beat don't like to hear that, but I really do. And I think that the third down percentage is a big reason why. Right now, the Jets 40th on third and fourth down conversion is 20th in the NFL. I think that number jumps up with Davante Adams there. Steelers defense, they rank 12th in the NFL at third and fourth down conversions allowed. So the Jets certainly have to be better against a defense that knows how to defend it. And red zone TD efficiency as well. Jets 16th in the NFL. You would think that number would be higher with Aaron Rodgers. I think that number also goes up with Davante Adams there. And they're going up once again, a stout defense in that area. Steelers 4th in the NFL in red zone touchdown percentage allowed. So this is and I mean that like as a compliment, not like the fourth most, the fourth least. So Steelers defense, really good, shocker. And I think the Jets are certainly going to get better play out of their wide receivers in the money areas of third down and in the red zone with the addition of Davante Adams.